Hello everyone! Today in this lesson we are going to learn about harmony and non-harmony notes. In this lesson you will learn how to connect harmony notes with non-harmony notes. Also you will learn about passing and auxiliary notes, about appoggiaturas and suspensions, and in the end you will need to complete 3 exercises. So let's start. So what is a harmony note? Harmony note is a note which belongs to a chord. So for example, when you have a chord of C major, C, E, G, so any of these 3 notes could be a harmony note because they belong to the chord. So G, for example, which I'm playing on top, is a harmony note. Next chord is chord 5. And in the melody I also have G because G is also part of the first chord. Last chord is again C major with G in the melody, and G is a harmony note because it belongs to the chord. Any of these 3 notes could be a harmony note. Okay? Let's look at this melody which is based on harmony notes. Listen to it. It's on one side it's a very nice melody, and all the notes in the melody, they're perfectly matching the chords, the harmonies. Why? Because these notes, they just taken from the chords, right? And we have different kind of broken chords and arpeggios going up and down. But if you write your melody, if you compose your melody just only using the harmony notes, sometimes it's a little bit boring and static. Yes, so I'm going to show you a little bit more interesting ways to create and develop your melody. So that's why we're going to study about non-harmony note. What is a harmony note? Non-harmony note, is a note that doesn't belong to a chord. So G, C major chord, and then if I play A on top, so A is not a part of C chord, and that's why it sounds like, actually it sounds a little bit jazzy, but we are not studying jazz at the moment, yes? So this is just not, it sounds a little bit like a clash here, okay? And look at this here, I have a whole selection of non-harmony notes. This is C major chord, and all these notes in red, they are non-harmony notes because they don't belong to C major. So listen. Oh, sorry. So from all of these notes, my C, E, G, C, they're harmony notes, but then these ones, they're not harmony notes, and that's why they're called non-harmony notes, okay? And I'm just keeping everything diatonic. I'm not playing any sharps or flats here, just only simple notes from the scale, the basic notes. Okay, next one, passing tone or passing notes. What is a passing notes? Passing notes are the non-harmony notes that fill the gaps between harmony notes. So for example, when you have C is a harmony note and E is also a harmony note, but in between, if I play just one note, so this D note is a passing note because it's kind of passing you from C to it's going through. Okay, this is another example this of double passing note. Why is it double passing notes? Because we have just double notes here. Listen. You can use this technique nicely in the end of your composition probably. You can add a rhythmic interest to it and make your rhythm a little bit more different, like here, 1, 2, 4. And I have 2 passing notes here. Next one, unaccented and accented passing notes. What is the difference between, you know what is accent, right? Accent is when you play a note a little bit harder, right? So we say like, this is accented note, this is not accented note. So unaccented and accented note, first of all, you need to understand what is that. Secondly, here we have unaccented passing note. Listen to this example. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the passing note comes in the beats in between, right? And also when the time signature is 4/4, your first beat and the third beats, they're strong ones, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. But 2 and 4, they consider it as weak beats. So when your passing note comes into 2 or 4, they call unaccented. But if it comes to 1 and 3, they call accented. Listen. See this accent? An accented note is usually stronger than unaccented note. Or this is another example here. Listen to this one. This is in G major. First one is accented passing note. Yes, it's like it comes on 2. Or unaccented, this one. This note unaccented in between. Okay, next one. This is, it seems like it's a little bit difficult word, but it's actually not. It sounds difficult, and maybe sometimes when you see these words, oh, what is that? But it's actually not so difficult. So this is auxiliary note. That's how we read auxiliary notes. And what is auxiliary note? Sometimes we call it the neighbor notes. Yes, so auxiliary notes are non-harmony notes. Yes, similar to passing notes, but they are a little bit different. So sometimes we call them neighbor notes, and then can be either upper auxiliary notes or they could be lower auxiliary notes. Yes, but what is especially about them is they're not kind of passing. They're not taking us to another note. You put these notes in between when you have the same note, repeated note, for example here. When in your melody you have the same harmony note repeated, in between them you can add one note. You can add one note going up, you can add one note going down. So listen. Or the same twice up. So it could be, this is up auxiliary note, this is lower auxiliary note. So you remember when it was a passing note was taking you to another note. But when it's a auxiliary note, it's like goes up one step and it goes one step down, but it goes back. It goes back where you start. It goes back to the harmony note. Okay, or this one, double auxiliary notes. Listen. Most of these examples, they're unaccented auxiliary notes. Okay, next one. Appoggiatura or leaning note. What is appoggiatura? Appoggiatura is from Italian, means to lean. In music, an ornamental note of long or short duration that temporarily displaces and subsequently resolves into a main note, usually by stepwise motion. Usually you can use these appoggiaturas just before the end of your melody, just where you have that beautiful perfect cadence. Let me play this. You see, this note is appoggiatura. It's a leaning note. It wants to take you down to the harmony note. Usually it goes down, and usually we use it on a weak beat, and we always resolve stepwise motion, usually actually down. Okay, that is our appoggiatura. It's ornamental note. And then another example for your cadence, but maybe you can use this one in imperfect cadence. This is C major example. Listen to this one. 2, 3. So what happens here? The harmony is changing on a strong beat, but the harmony note comes a bit later. It's a beautiful, beautiful, very good compositional technique which you can probably use somewhere where you want to use an imperfect cadence. Okay, so this is the guidelines for your writing a melody. We have 3 exercises to complete. Remember, when you have 2 of the same harmony notes in row, then you can add an auxiliary note in between. So, for example, if you have E twice repeated, yes? So you can add auxiliary note, upper or lower. When you have 2 different harmony notes in a row, like for example G and C, you can add between the passing notes. You can also add rhythmic interest by making the auxiliary and passing notes different lengths. You can make them shorter. Yes, and then maybe you want to add a dotted rhythm or maybe some kind of shorter notes. Depends on you. Okay, so the objective of this exercises, this worksheet, is to show how to take a melody that you've created with harmony notes, and then using these techniques of passing notes and auxiliary notes, make that melody more interesting and varied. Okay, so instructions: you need to start simple, write a harmony note melody that is only minims, and then you can add the smaller range between two notes. The easier it will be to connect them. For example, the distance between C and E is a third. You only have to add one note in between, for example here. Before you decide on the rhythm of the notes, first find out how many notes you're going to require. So how many notes you want to add in between, you have to decide it before. Okay, and what else we have here? Actually, the exercise. So first exercise, you need to write the melody using just only harmony notes. Only harmony notes, like this one. Like this is what I did. Of course, you can use different notes, but again, remember, this is a harmony. This is your basement. Next one, when you do exercise 2, this time you need to add non-harmony notes, like you can add passing notes or auxiliary notes, upper auxiliary notes or low auxiliary notes, or you also can add appoggiaturas or suspension. Play with it, see what you can do. This is the example how I did it. Also very important, each new chord in the accompaniment should have a harmony note above it in the melody. So you see each strong beat, and you remember I already said this in time signature for your first beat and your third beat, they are strong. 1 and 3, 2 and 4, the weak ones, yes? But actually you need to think about harmonies here. When you have a new chord, so that means on that beat, on that chord above, you always need to have a harmony note. And not in your composition, probably not, but here in this exercise, because this is just exercise and I'm teaching you how to compose melody, just do it that way. And then in your own composition, of course, you can do it your own different ways. So here we have harmony note on the first beat, which is matching, and then passing notes. D is a passing note, this is harmony note, harmony, lower auxiliary note, harmony note, yes? And then this one, all of this one, the passing notes, upper auxiliary note, and then in the end they are all harmony notes. Okay, and the last exercise here, again you need to use all sorts of passing, harmony and non-harmony notes and write a melody. Think about rhythm as well, make it interesting. And last, in the end, I have here the recording of very, very interesting and a beautiful example. First of all, of course, this is a very good example of 8 bars period. But plus to it, it's a very good example of everything what we were talking about in this lesson about passing and auxiliary notes. Okay, I'm going to play you this music and then listen to it. And also I have a variation of it because this music is a theme and variation. This example is just perfect. Here we have so many different passing and auxiliary notes here. Just beautiful example. Listen to it and I hope you will enjoy it. Have fun exploring all these harmony and non-harmony notes, and I'm waiting for your melodies for your exercises. Okay, well done everyone, and goodbye.